My mom demanded I sign my entire inheritance to my stepbrother. I said nothing and revealed what she'd hidden for years. When I was 19, my mom remarried Richard and suddenly decided I was too spoiled living in our family home. Time to learn independence, she said, kicking me out so Richard's son Tyler could have my room. My childhood bedroom became his gaming setup overnight. I'll never forget packing my stuff while Tyler lounged on my old bed, already planning where to put his new desk. Mom stood in the doorway with her arms crossed, explaining how this would build character. The same woman who used to make me hot chocolate when I had nightmares was now treating me like a burden she couldn't wait to get rid of. I crashed on couches for months. My friend Jake's mom let me sleep in their basement, but I felt like such a charity case. I worked 3 jobs, morning shift at a coffee shop, afternoons at a retail store, nights doing delivery driving. I'd see families eating dinner together through restaurant windows and feel this hollow ache in my chest. Mom would post family vacation photos with Tyler in my old spot at the dinner table. Disney World trips, beach houses, fancy restaurants. Tyler wearing my old high school Letterman jacket in one photo really stung, like I never existed. The worst part was running into them at the grocery store. Mom would get this awkward smile and ask how I was doing out there in the real world, while Tyler stood behind her wearing brand new clothes. Meanwhile, I'm calculating if I can afford name brand pasta sauce this week. I finally saved enough to rent a tiny studio apartment above a pizza place. The walls were thin, it smelled like pepperoni constantly, and the heat barely worked, but it was mine. I'd fall asleep listening to Tyler's Instagram stories about his awesome new room and best mom ever. During this time, I was the only one who visited Grandma regularly. Every Sunday, I'd bring her groceries and we'd watch old movies together. She never asked why I looked so tired or why my clothes were getting loose from skipping meals. She just made sure I ate a real dinner every week and sent me home with leftovers. Grandma would tell me stories about growing up during the Depression, how her family stuck together no matter what. Real family doesn't abandon each other when times get tough, she'd say, patting my hand. I always wondered if she knew what Mom had done to me. 5 years crawled by like this. I bounced between apartments, worked my way up to assistant manager positions, slowly built a small emergency fund. Mom would occasionally text on holidays, generic thinking of you messages that felt more like obligation than love. Then Grandma died suddenly, heart attack in her sleep. At the funeral, Mom cried dramatically while Tyler stood there checking his phone. I was the one who held Grandma's hand during her final hospital visit. I was the one who knew she wanted to be buried next to Grandpa, wearing her blue dress. A week later, the lawyer called. Grandma had left me everything. Her house, her savings, her vintage jewelry collection that I'd always admired. The reading of the will was surreal. Mom kept shooting me confused glances, like there must be some mistake. But the real shock came when Mom found out about the inheritance amount. She called me that same evening, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. Honey, I've been thinking about Tyler's situation. He's struggling with student loans, and since you got Grandma's money and you're already established in your career, I was still living in that studio apartment, still eating ramen 3 nights a week. What exactly are you asking, Mom? Well, Tyler could really use that inheritance. Family should help family, right? You know how much Grandma loved all of us equally. The audacity was breathtaking. This woman who'd thrown me out like garbage was now asking me to fund her golden child's education. I need to think about it, I said. Of course, honey, take your time, but Tyler's tuition deadline is coming up fast. I suggested we meet at a lawyer's office to discuss the details properly. Mom was thrilled, probably thinking I was ready to hand everything over with legal documentation. Mom and Tyler showed up expecting me to sign papers. Instead, I handed them copies of bank statements. Mom, meet my accounts. Grandma didn't just leave me her savings. She left me her investment portfolio too. This inheritance you want me to give Tyler? It's worth $1.2 million. Tyler's jaw dropped. Mom went pale. Oh, and Mom, the lawyer's here because Grandma also left me something else. Documentation of every penny you stole from her accounts over the past 3 years. She knew. The room went dead silent. Tyler deserves his education, but he deserves an honest mother more. Mom's been calling nonstop. Tyler moved out last week.